What's up, everyone? Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another stream. Let's take a look at the best trading opportunities for tomorrow. That's why we are doing this. It's a pre-market analysis, so I would recommend everyone to do it. So you are one step ahead of the market. You know exactly what you want to look for tomorrow's session. And what today? Finally, we had some movement on the dollar today. And yes, it was a little bit predicted based on what we talked about for the last few days, especially yesterday as well, when we mentioned that if the dollar actually was about to go down and if it break that low, then we'll have all the room to just feel this compression. And you can see, beautiful move, quite quick, and that's actually basically the definition of compression. Now, that was something that you wanted to look for, the same thing that we're looking for the euro to move to the upside, the same way that we're looking maybe for the pound also to look to the upside. So that's mostly what you're looking for. Also the indices, question mark if it was holding or not. No, it didn't. It respected it a bit, but then it just continued to move to the upside. So all the moves that happened, we kind of look at them yesterday and we position ourselves correctly to look for the type of opportunities, or at least to, or on the other side, maybe to avoid some trades that we shouldn't. For example, myself, in terms of looking for reversals, as soon as price finally started to move, yep, that's not the moment to look anymore for reversals, to be honest, and that let just price now move, and then tomorrow most likely we can have opportunities. In terms of news, tomorrow is going to be a big day. You have CPI in the UK and CPI in the US, so that's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. Today we had PPI in the US. It was lower than expected, so that was a catalyst also for the move to downside on the dollar, the move to the upside on the indices. But tomorrow we have the CPI data, right? So now I did mention on Sunday, I was wondering if the CPI data is still going to carry on being such a big catalyst for the next, from now on, basically. And the reason I said that is because of what happened again during the NFP and then that sell-off on Monday, 1 week ago. It looked like that the rate cuts are completely priced in, which means that almost regardless of the number of the CPI tomorrow, that's not going to change. All right. And yes, of course, if you have another CPI data that's lower than expected, that's going to be another month where that's going to happen, and it's going to give even extra confidence maybe for the Fed, perhaps to cut actually 50 basis points instead of only 25 basis points. But I do believe that maybe we are going to move a little bit away from the CPI, and maybe actually NFP and unemployment may be the biggest catalyst for the second part of the year. But looking now at the market, right? So there you go. Basically, we have been waiting for that. The dollar has been ranging for quite a while, for a few days now, and there you go. We did mention also yesterday that there was already a break of a low in here of this month zone, even though the key level for me it was this one, but that was already a clue that we could see. In the bigger picture, we do have that break in there, but before that, maybe price could go to the downside. Now, I also mentioned all this time that we do have this month zone, and that's the key level that I'm going to be looking for in here on the dollar index. If by any chance dollar index does still want to continue to respect these lows, that's going to be the level to look for a potential long. Before that, I'm just going to let the dollar now starting to lose momentum, and after that we may have that opportunity. Otherwise, if there is no PA around this level, then you're going to just look and to continue to see dollar index moving to downside, because in my opinion as well, in the bigger picture, as I mentioned, this one is already basically a compression in here. So where price is reacting at this point is already within a compression, which we are looking for price to actually go below this low into somewhere here. All right, so bigger picture, that's a little bit of the bias that I have, but I'm still open-minded to see if price does want to respect this level and go higher, or at least have some reaction to the upside. It can still happen, because that level is still fresh in there, which means that that level can still hold in there. So that's something to pay attention to in here on the dollar index. All right, perfect. So yeah, that was perfect. Again, for example, something that I was looking for, it was to see this level in here. Like this price just wants to fake out the low and go higher, because that's a possibility as well. So when you do break this low, either price, one of two things happen. Like basic price is just going to fill the range immediately without much of retracement, or perhaps price can break that, go higher, and then it's going to fill it, and that creates a new set of opportunities to look for sales. But in here, basically that was the level that I was looking for. If price had broken above this structure in here, then I could potentially expect price to do something like this, but that never happened. As you can see, price respected, it came up one more time in here, it's carry on respecting the structure in there, and then it just moved to the downside. So that was the key zoning there on dollar index that we were looking for. Beautiful. So that's our index. Again, we'll see tomorrow if that's going to happen. We have mentioned everything that has happened so far. We were expecting that. And then the indices, it was the same thing, right? So we mentioned a few levels in here that we were looking for. For example, that one was one of them on the S&P. Price, as you can see, respected it, but then it kept respecting this level in there. So there was no break to the downside in here. We also mentioned that this level in here was quite important. As long as this level holds and price doesn't really break it, at this point there was no reason for price to actually move to the downside. And what I also mentioned in terms of the dollar index is that I was looking for price to actually make that move to downside, similar to this move in here that we had on the S&P, in Nasdaq, crypto as well. So dollar index finally is making that move to the downside, and of course targeting that low, which it's already done at this point. So what's next for the indices, right? So at this point, you are looking for the indices to go slightly above this level right now. All right, so that's a little bit of the zones that we're going to be looking for. Is for dollar index to go a little bit more to the upside. And yeah, we'll see. Bigger picture, we do have this previous level support resistance. So we'll see what's going to happen in here. Otherwise, price will eventually carry on moving to the upside in there. So we'll see. I don't like compression. I don't like now this momentum. Basically, this is the separation between these two phases, which is nice. And now we're going to need to start creating a little bit of a new structure. Price needs to start slowing down, and we'll see. At this point, I think price is going to take at least these highs in there, and there is a chance that can go even slightly higher. But just to let it go now, not going to rush with anything at this point until I start seeing price slowing down. Same thing in here. So as you remember, I did mention several times that this level looked nice and price ended up reacting from it today, but same thing, it didn't really manage to break proper structure in there. Again, that level is still there. Price kept respecting this level in here, and then it just had the continuation to the upside on Nasdaq. And there you go. Price now continues, and we'll see what's going to happen from here. Price can retest this level one more time and go again, targeting this high. Basically, that's already done. So actually, S&P is lagging a little bit comparing with Nasdaq, and you are looking basically for price to come back again. To come back into something somewhere in here. They're looking slightly higher now. So we'll see. There's maybe the chance of some structure in there. Otherwise, somewhere in here. With the possibility to go even slightly higher. But we'll see tomorrow with CPI what's going to happen at around the structure. Again, the way price moved to downside in here, it looked like didn't really create anything relevant, but you need to look also at these levels in here to see if there's anything or not in there that can hold price. We didn't have these left shoulders in there, so that's something maybe to consider. Aside from that, not really much in there. Just let it run until we start having some weakness on price, and then you can start looking. So price already reacted from here, so it may start slowing down a little bit, and until we start looking for some reversals. Dow, same thing. So Dow is lagging, as you can see. Dow again, the next structure can still be this one. So that's a level that you're going to be looking for. Dow has been basically within this range. Again, didn't manage to break to the downside. Now it broke to the upside. So let it continue to go slightly higher. We do have also this level in here that basically price is reacting. So you can actually start reacting from this lower edge at this level in here to see some reaction. Otherwise, we are looking for price to go somewhere in here. So that will be basically the next one on the Dow. And then DAX, that's another one that I'm looking to see price eventually getting closer to here. All right, that would be the one on DAX. What I'm going to be looking for, it's somewhere into the structure, just previous level support resistance as well. So I want to see price getting slightly closer to these highs in here. Maybe there's a chance in there, but then the one that I'm more looking for is that one. I don't like the approach as well. In this case, we actually have already a small break to the downside in here. So we already have basically that low being created in there. Then price kept respecting it. That's nice. Let it compress a little bit more until price may get closer to that level. And maybe then with some PA, you can look for a short. Again, it's going to be the previous level support resistance. Just let it go. Let it get a little bit closer. In there, we do have already a little bit of structure in here with this double top. So that's nice as well. Yeah, let it go a little bit more. Yeah, let it go a little bit more to the upside. And maybe tomorrow we can have an opportunity to look for sales. Again, just looking in here. Yeah, we have been creating some bullish candles in there for our time frame as well. Momentum to the upside. Yeah, that's going to be one of the first key levels to look for on the dollar index. And that can be actually already for tomorrow morning. Yep, just let it go slightly higher. Then you have also Nikkei that's correcting as well, so let it eventually get closer to here. That's going to key zone to look for. In terms of crypto, yep, so correction to the upside now. We respect perfectly that level, continue to respect that level. And now we mentioned that we had maybe a little bit of this one in here, but price respected so nicely this level in here that price can actually continue to move to the upside from here. Now we're having a little bit of a reaction, but I do like where price reacted, so we can actually anticipate price to continue to move higher. We didn't manage to break the structure in there. So, yep, that can continue. Now, yeah, it's a brief reaction from this left shoulder, that's true. Yeah, so we'll see, to be honest. I don't like the fact that we respected this level the way we did. That doesn't really open any space to move further down. So I'm going to be conservative with any sales in there. But the level is really good and price actually is reacting perfectly from the left shoulder in here. So we'll see. Maybe price can retest back into this level and maybe push higher again. Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen now. But reaction, again, good reaction, but we'll see what's going to happen in here. Yeah, I didn't really open any space in there. Then we have Ethereum that fake out that high in there. I'm still looking for Ethereum maybe to get a bit closer to the upside. It's still respecting this level in here. We did manage to break some lows in there. That's nice. We keep respecting this level. So yeah, at this point respecting also that zone in here. Yeah, that's a nice reaction from the supply that was left behind in alignment with all these lows. So that's exactly what you want to look for. Yeah, we'll see how price may react from here. Yeah, but that's this level. Let's delete this. Yeah, so we'll see what's going to happen, but it can go slightly higher before moving down. But this level actually is quite good, to be honest, at least for some reaction, at least targeting this level in there. It's really good. It's a really good level that was left behind in here. We have supply level in there, to be honest. It's really good. Yeah, that was really good. That was a really good level. In there, Solana also ranging in here. Eventually could continue to push lower. Then you have Euro Index, which finally is moving to the upside. So we had that initial reaction to the downside. Reacted perfectly from this demand zone in there, and now it's moving. And we started to create so many highs in here that eventually that level will be faked out. Kind of looking a little bit into that level. But price apparently just wants to go higher again. It respected perfectly this level. So we are looking higher in here on the Euro Index at this point and targeting this high. That's basically the next level, key level in here that we're going to be looking for is for price to get closer to this structure in there, and eventually can even fake out that high, get into this bigger range in there. So let's see again. Natural move. Price can even just retrace a little bit, react from this level, and continue. That could be a typical move in there, targeting a little bit of this level, if not even then into there. So that's a zone here on the Euro Index to look for. And then the Yen Index, it does continue to respect that zone. So it respected still these lows. We still need to have at least a little bit more of a break to the upside, especially breaking this high would confirm a little bit more that price actually wants to go higher from here. Again, price is literally slowing down, but it may missing out some proper momentum to the upside so far. So we'll see what's going to happen in here as well on the yen index. Again, the yen pairs are reacting nicely to the downside. But I mentioned already, for example, dollar yen, I do see price going slightly higher before actually moving down, even though actually now with the dollar index move, dollar yen actually moved quite nicely to the downside in here. So that's what we have in terms of the indices. Let's take a look now at the individual currency pairs in here. So that's going to be interesting because now we finally have the move, right? So we finally move to the upside, and the euro dollar is already reacting closer to this level in there, and it can even break. By the shape of this, it looks like price actually is going to continue and break new highs. And it's something that we mentioned. We did mention that the break of this high in here, when it happened, that was more of an engulf to the upside. All right, so it was it is initially a great level to look for a short because we fake out all the structure. So that's perfect, but this is just a continuation to the upside. I don't really think that this level in here to be the end of this move. I think there's more room to the upside in there, and I think euro dollar eventually is going to go towards there, same way that dollar index eventually is going to move slightly lower. But in here, from where we are at this point, yes, this could be even a little bit where price could react, but it's just gaining momentum. We never managed to break below this low neither, so that was a level that kept respecting price, and today we had a really big move to the upside in here. So again, euro dollar at this point, I think we can start looking above that high. We can start looking into this zone in there to see where price may react. I think price again is reacting from here. There's maybe a zone above where price may still bounce from, somewhere in here. Perhaps price can fake out that high into something in there. Damn it, don't have. Yeah, I don't have data. All right, so yeah, price is reacting from here. Yeah, perhaps could react from one of these two zones in there. That's something to bear in mind on the euro dollar, and then move to the downside a little bit. Otherwise, we start breaking above this level. We are starting to look for price to actually almost fill all of this in here. Or something that can happen as well, of course, is maybe breaking above this level, giving an indication that you want to go higher, but then retracing until eventually price goes again. But that's already happened in here, right, with the break of this highs and then the deep retrace. So that may not happen now, and the euro dollar may actually just continue to push to the upside from here, and then eventually we are going to be targeting those highs in there, especially above that level in there. So that's something to pay attention. Again, tomorrow morning is going to be interesting to see. Either price uses this high as liquidity and starts moving a little bit more to downside, or it's going to be the opposite and it just continues to gain momentum above this, and it's just going to carry on in here. So that's something to pay attention to. Price did left this level behind in here, so never had that fake out. That's another one that it was missing in there. But yeah, nice move to the upside. Again, we were expecting that, especially with the move on the dollar index. We anticipated that yesterday, so that's nice. Again, just let it go until we eventually get closer to one of those levels. On dollar, this is the one that we also mentioned. Like, so when you created that level, it was straight away, and you mentioned with everyone that this could be the bottom. Okay, the way price was turning in here, it looked like that it was the bottom at this point, and price reacted perfectly from that level as well, respected the double bottom, and then start moving to the upside, and then it confirmed also with respecting this level and continue to trade above. Now it left these levels behind in here, two levels that it was left behind. It's okay, it's totally okay. In this case, price actually respected this structure above this new zone. And what you mentioned afterwards is that everything in here was compressed, right? So as soon as price breaks this level, we are looking for price to basically fill out the space. There's maybe a little bit of a zone in there or now in here, but most of this is compressed. So there's it's no surprise whatsoever that pound dollar is actually moving the way it did in here. Like, everything was compressed. Now we have this level. Basically, price is reacting from it right now. This can be actually a good level to have a little bit of a retracement on the pound dollar, to be honest. And price is actually bouncing from it. So somewhere in here is one of the last fresh levels that we have on pound dollar. And then if it continues to break above that level, then you go all the way and you start aiming actually closer to this level in there. So that's going to be interesting to see. There can be more room to the upside on pound dollar. But just bear in mind in here now, this level where we are right now, it's actually an interesting reaction from this supply, and unless you may go slightly higher into something in there, and then you're looking for this one in here instead. Yeah, that will be the one. So yeah, something in here, and then looking somewhere in there, but then you get close to this double top, and then all of a sudden you're looking higher already and targeting at least that level in there. So that's what we have in here. Then price can just retest this level and continue to move to the upside. We're talking about close to 17-18 pips at this point. So yeah, you'll see this way still holding price. Yep. So that's going to be tomorrow. Again, tomorrow 7 a.m. we have 7 a.m. UK time. We have CPI in UK, so expect some volatility in here as well on the pound tomorrow morning. And then we have euro pound. Like euro pound, it made another move down. So again, we have been bearish on the euro pound. We predicted all that move. Again, we are still looking to see if the euro pound gets closer to this level. That can still be a good zone to look for a short, to be honest. But now we are getting into this demand zone, and that's why we are having this reaction from here. So that's a nice one. Again, I'm still okay with looking for short somewhere around the structure, especially with the extreme as well in there. Even though this level is okay, it may not be actually the extreme. Maybe price could even get closer more to this level in there. And if that happens, then it can continue. Yeah, we are basically trading now within this bigger range. So I'm still okay with the possibility of price eventually finally taking everything in here, getting a bit closer to here. And depending on the approach and the PI that we have, we may look for an opportunity to look for a short, sorry, at the highs. In here, price just paused in the middle, which means that we can still get closer to here or eventually into this range in there. Yeah, that's basically euro pound at this point. So I'm not really interested in anything in here at this point. I want price to actually go slightly higher than that, or I want price to actually go lower. They should look for longs. We have also Aussie dollar, right? That's exactly another one that we talked about. We mentioned that there was basically anything in here that was relevant. Everything looked like compressed to me. There's maybe a little bit of a reaction from this previous level support resistance, and price did react from it, but then he kept respecting the demand zone. Like there's absolutely no break to the downside in here. Price just continues to go higher, which means that we don't really have anything relevant in here, and price can maybe get closer to that level, for example, before starting looking for any sells in here. So that's another one. Just let it go, accept it. Like you need to try to understand in which phase we are trading. And for example, as a counter trend trader, which is actually what I am, and I had to learn the hard way actually to stay away from these moves, right? Because the tendency when price is starting to move up, especially if you are too zoomed in, the tendency is going to try to look for sells around here. Right, maybe try to sell again on the test of this double top, try to sell on the test of this double top, whatever it may be, because we are just seeing price going up. You may think that price is getting too exhausted, but no, you need to actually just stay away. Don't really fight this level, because it will be just loss after loss after loss. And yeah, I had to learn the hard way. I had to start implementing some rules. I had to actually do a proper analysis in the higher time frame, not fight price, actually wait for price, being patient first of all, and just wait for price to get closer to me. Yes, I'm not really participating on a move like this, unfortunately, but I will get my opportunities when price now starts going down, and eventually I'll get the reversal. And then yes, then I can take advantage maybe of the turn to the opposite side. Right? Just look for some other pairs. We are going to find some reversals in there. Now we have Euro Aussie, which is in a range, right? When the move is caused by the dollar, all those extra or kind of minor pairs, they stay in a range. Because now we have Aussie dollar moving up, but we have also strength on the euro, and all of a sudden we have Euro Aussie basically not moving whatsoever, similar to the pound Aussie as well. Basically stayed within this range in here. Still curious to see, maybe tomorrow with CPI can have a little bit more of a move in here on pound Aussie, but at this point it's just in a ranging market. That's something that we also need to understand. Like, so we, for example, the last couple of days or weeks, when you had a range in the dollar, that's when you had these big moves on the minor pairs, like on the pound Aussie, euro CAD, for example, pound CAD, and so on and so forth. Like, so we need to understand that as well. So that's what we have in there, and now we jump into the yen pairs. So there you go, right? So we have the yen pairs. So I'm still looking for price to go slightly higher in here. Price is compressing quite a lot, which is nice to see. But yes, it hasn't really managed to break a low, a proper low in here. So that's something also to bear in mind. Price kind of come back, but respects the lows. I feel certain away this range, it could be respecting the lows. So I'm still looking eventually for price to go slightly higher before a potential move. We kind of have a double top created right now, so that's nice to see in here on the Aussie yen, but yeah, I'm not fighting it neither. Dollar yen, of course, is the one that actually reacted perfectly, right? We had that fake out and then price respected this level. This is the one that actually I'm still waiting for price to get into this level, but at this point it looks like it's not happening. Again, with the negative dollar, we actually have now the dollar yen moving slightly lower. We mentioned that basically this month is already taken, so we'll see how price still respects or not above this high, above this low, to see if price goes up from here or price actually just starts moving more to the downside in there. So we'll see what's going to happen. Again, I'm still open to the possibility eventual price taking again everything in here and just maybe reacting like that. But this may be enough. This fake out in here may be enough. Enough to collect all the liquidity that it was necessary to eventually push price to the downside. And there's still maybe orders in here as well if price does want to go there one more time. All right, to the downside, yeah, eventually everything in here it's almost taken. Again, I mentioned that there is one level at the extreme underneath this low at this level that price can respect, so that's something to bear in mind. And then you are looking for price to get into this structure in here on the dollar yen. Euro yen, it's basically the same thing, so it respected still that high after that fake out in there. And again, still looking for price even to go slightly higher in here. He kept respecting this low right now, so there is no break to the downside in here. So we'll see. Again, we are kind of ranging a little bit at around this level. So again, I'm still looking for price to go there, and it can even go all the way and can even target that zone instead of just stopping in here. But I'm going to first see how price may react from there, and then if price just continues to go, I wouldn't be surprised if price actually gets closer more to this range, to this structure at around this level in here. So that's euro yen at this point, but again, please go up first before actually moving to the downside. Don't go without me. Pound yen is another one, so it's still respected a little bit at level. Pick out those highs, interesting, and yeah, curious to see how price may react from here. Again, took the demand zone from here now, so yeah, we'll see. Tomorrow again, CPI again, we are compressing quite a lot in here. Eventually we can have that turn. I'm still not 100% sure how if I do like this level. I would even prefer if price actually would go there, but it is what it is at this point in here. And then the CAD pairs, right? So again, this is a big, it's finally moving, so it has been ranging, and again, we expected that move to happen, right? So the way price was creating all these lows but not really managing to break highs in here, we're kind of anticipating another move to the downside, target a little bit of these lows, maybe that level in there, and then eventually getting closer to here, or you can even fake out this low, to be honest, and get into this structure. That actually would be my favorite, to be honest, at this point. I would love actually dollar index to go, not dollar index, sorry, dollar CAD to actually go all the way and actually take this low and get into here, and then you could look for a long. That would be actually quite nice. But before that, we may have a reaction from one of these levels in here. So we'll see how dollar CAD is going to move in here. So nice little range, continuation to downside. Again, this was a move that we also looked for in here, so we also anticipated that one. And now it's just letting price move. I can getting a bit more exhausted to the downside until we start having PA for a possible turn. But yes, this low can actually be the target of this move down. And price can actually target that level into something in here. So that's something to bear in mind in here on dollar CAD. Euro CAD, yeah, that's beautiful, right? So oh well, it respected that demand zone. I didn't really like the lows, unfortunately. I waited for a fake out to happen, never really happened. And then this morning, actually, it was quite nice. Where price reacted from this small gap in there, which we fake out that low into there and then start moving upwards. And we actually managed to break slightly the high just before we make the move down. That's actually the type of PI that is really nice to see. I didn't notice, I kind of ignored EuroCAD all the way until price eventually would take those lows, so I kind of missed all this move in here, but it was nice PI created kind of in here. Again, I don't like these lows at all, but in here it was actually a nice PI created to the upside. And there you go, just created momentum. We did mention also that on the way down, the way EuroCAD was moving in here, there was a lot of compression in here, which means that because of all that compression, there's nothing really much holding price down as price now is moving to the upside, right? So it's free to actually just keep going until it's going to find a next level that can eventually find some sales in there, right? So that's basically what you're looking for, a little bit more to the upside in here. Yeah, a little bit more to the upside, to be honest. Yeah, price already went there. Yeah, a little bit more to the upside in there. So that's something to wait in there on the EuroCAD. And then we have pound CAD, which also made a big move with the pound. Again, respected the demand zone. And then you mentioned that everything in here was kind of compressed as well. That was a beautiful move. We also anticipated this could look like it was the bottom. This was a beautiful target that price went to. So we have been predicting all this move in here on the pound CAD, and we predicted also the turn, right? That's perfect. Beautiful move in there, kind of kept respecting this level. Actually, we would have preferred if there was a small fake out in here, to be honest, and then push, but price kept breaking new highs. Hold, kept holding this level, and now moving to the upside. And we feel all this compression in here, right? All this price in there. So that was nice. And then above this level can even go slightly higher. Looking at the higher time frame, yeah, this is basically a 4-hour zone in here. That's maybe a decision that made price break out those lows. In there is also a daily level. So yeah, we can have a little bit of a small reaction from here, but everything in here, especially on lower time frame, it looks also compressed to me. So yeah, I do have that last supply level in there, to be honest. And then you don't really have much going on in here. Start targeting that level perhaps above this high. Yeah, that may be the case in here on pound CAD. So let it go a little bit more. So until we find some weakness again tomorrow, CPI in here. So that's something to bear in mind. But yeah, again, don't fight it. Like that's what you need to understand in terms of the phases. Don't fight what's in front of you. Understand the zones and don't fight them. Take advantage of them if that's actually the type of trades that you're looking for. Dollar franc Swiss, this is another one. Again, it ranged a little bit in here. I wanted to see price going slightly higher. It never went there. Just stayed within this range. Getting a little bit kind of a zone 2 type of a move in there. And now I'm looking maybe to gain some momentum to see if it breaks these lows. And if it breaks that, maybe can even fill out all of this in here. At this point, you have this level behind, right? So we have been anticipating this one as well. That was the move from yesterday. So that was yesterday's trade. The move to the downside from that level. It was the A+ setup from yesterday. And yeah, today is just more of a continuation in here. Either price would respect a little bit more or have a deep retracement or not. Just pause in the middle. It happens as well. And now we're looking for price maybe to gain some momentum in here. So we'll see. We may have still something in here, to be honest. But maybe hold it. Otherwise, price is already looking for something in there. There is even the chance again one more time that maybe you can even do something like that. Maybe use these walls now. This high, sorry, is liquidity, and then move to the downside from here. So that scenario could actually be a great short from around this level. Yeah, so that's something to look for. Yeah, so that's something to look for. Gold keeps respecting the high, so yep, creating that structure. Retesting it as well. Again, is this going to be just accumulation? Basically, to attract as many sellers as possible, so then it can fake out and maybe gain momentum, fake out and start moving lower. Yeah, we'll see. Like we are so close to all-time highs, to those highs as well. So I'm going to just wait for price to manipulate something in there. And then you have also silver, which carry on still respecting a little bit of this level. Now it got even a little bit deeper into the demand zone. This will kind of was short in there. Now they are getting a bit more into that zone. Considering this high, we actually touched it. So we'll see how price may react from here, or if it continue to move more to the upside in here. Yeah, so that's something to bear in mind. The prices want to get closer to that zone, get good reaction from those lows, so you may continue to go slightly higher from here. And then we have oil that just turned, right? So we had a big massive move to the upside yesterday, and price got all the way. It filled basically all the space in here, and it turned straight away. I was personally looking a little bit for a fake out of this high and then potential turn, but the PA happened in there, and now we are getting into this first target. So any sales from there, this will be a first target at around this level, and from here we may have a continuation to the upside. So we'll see. The price is starting to lose a lot of momentum, as you can see. It's compressing. I'm just curious to see how price may react from here, to see if there's going to be a continuation to the upside or not on oil. Yeah, so that's going to be interesting to see tomorrow. If you start breaking below these lows, then you can maybe go slightly lower, or you can break the lows and then actually have a retracement maybe closer to this level again. So we'll see. Like again, it's a lot of tension, a potential attack from Iran into Israel that's creating a lot of stress, a lot of uncertainty, and a lot of volatility in the oil market and commodities as well. So we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. Hopefully nothing happens, but we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen next few days about that and how the oil market is going to react to it. And that's it in terms of the market, right? So again, we finally have dollar making the big move and moving away from this range. It is at the lows now. And yes, there is still a zone in there at the lows that we can look for. However, in the bigger picture, I do consider that this low is already a break to downside. So I could even see this low being broken and price creating new lows. But I'm going to be open-minded and to see if we do have that reaction or not from that low, right? So that's the key level in here that I'm going to be looking for. Depending on how price approaches level, we may have a little bit of potential setup to look for longs. Euro dollar looks like it's even closer to actually break already the high in there. So euro dollar is already very close to break the high. So euro dollar most likely is going to actually break the high. Maybe it already broke while we're talking. So that's something to look for. How dollar is going to react from there. Pound with tomorrow's CPI data already made a big move to the upside. I think there's a bit more room to the upside, but we could retrace first before continue, all right? Because it made a really big move at this point. However, there's a lot of compression on the pound dollar, which means that there isn't really many more things that we can, or many levels that we can expect pound to respect in there. All right, so we may have a little bit of this level and then maybe a little bit of that level. Aside from that, nothing really much going on in here to hold price. That's the one to pay attention to tomorrow as well. So let's see how price is going to react to the CPI. And we'll see, right? We'll see. Tomorrow we have CPI in the US as well. So depending on the way the dollar index is going to create PI close to the lows, maybe there's a great long from there. Otherwise, we're going to take the lows and then you'll see what's going to happen next in here. Aussie dollar and so on, let it continue to move higher. Dollar CAD, let it continue to move lower. The N pairs, I'm really curious. Again, if it goes slightly higher, then I can look for those shorts. Dollar N already made a big move down to downside today in here. So that's what it is. And then gold and so on, like gold really close to the highs. I'm not really touching them right now. Silver, I wanted to go also a little bit more to the upside before touching them. And then the indices as well, which is going to be interesting. I think there's a bit more room to the upside. And I'll wait for a little bit of more weakness on the indices before even attempting to look for any sells. But yeah, interesting. We finally have movement in the market. So we'll see what's going to happen tomorrow. With that being said, guys, thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. If you are new, don't forget to like and subscribe as well to the video and to the channel. I really appreciate it. And yeah, let me know in the comments what opportunities are you looking for, guys. What setups are you looking? Let me know also if you do your pre-market analysis as well. Let me know in the comments. All right. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.